The rain-slicked alley in Brooklyn reeked of garbage and regret, and Alex Harper's world narrowed to the glint of a switchblade under the flickering street lamp. "You think you're tough, pretty boy?" the mugger snarled, his breath hot and foul against Alex's face, the knife pressing just enough to draw a bead of blood from his throat. But before Alex could summon a scream or a prayer, Jordan Kane exploded from the shadows like a freight train, his fist connecting with the thug's jaw in a crack that echoed off the brick walls, sending the man crumpling like discarded trash. Jordan didn't stop there. He grabbed the knife hand mid-swing, twisting it with a growl that was more beast than man, pinning the attacker face first into the puddle-strewn pavement. "Touch him again," Jordan hissed, his voice low and lethal. "And I'll bury you so deep they'll need a map to find the pieces." The mugger whimpered, and just like that, the fight drained out of him, out of everyone, really, because Jordan Kane had that effect. 6'3" of coiled muscle and unyielding will, the kind of guy who turned chaos into order with a single glare. Alex slumped against the wall, heart hammering, as Jordan hauled the creep up by his collar and shoved him stumbling into the night. Only then did Jordan turn, his face softening from fury to that familiar, fierce concern, rain dripping from his buzzed blonde hair. "Jesus, Alex, what the hell were you thinking, cutting through here alone?" He pulled Alex into a hug that smelled of leather jacket and adrenaline, strong arms wrapping around him like a shield. And in that moment, soaked and shaking, Alex believed it was just protection, nothing more. Brooklyn in late autumn felt like the city was shedding its skin, all crisp leaves crunching underfoot and the Hudson River turning a moody slate gray. Alex and Jordan had crashed into each other's lives 4 years earlier, freshmen at NYU, both wide-eyed transplants chasing dreams in the concrete jungle. Alex, with his mop of unruly chestnut curls and a sketchbook perpetually tucked under his arm, dreamed of illustrating graphic novels, tales of flawed heroes and quiet revolutions. Jordan, ever the counterpoint, was the poli-sci major with a chip on his shoulder the size of his home state, Texas, gunning for a future in civil rights law. They'd bonded over late-night ramen in the dorms, Jordan's booming laugh cutting through Alex's awkward silences. And somehow, against all odds, they'd become inseparable. That inseparability was Jordan's doing, mostly. He'd claimed Alex as his little brother from another mother on day one, slinging an arm around his shoulders in crowded lecture halls and steering him away from the frat boy bros who eyed Alex's slim frame and soft features like fresh meat. "Stick with me, Harp," Jordan would say, his Texas drawl thickening when he was serious. "And nobody fucks with you." Alex ate it up, grateful for the armor Jordan provided in a city that chewed up dreamers like him. Growing up in a sleepy Ohio suburb, Alex had always been the quiet gay kid, the one who got shoved into lockers for doodling rainbows in the margins of his notebooks. Jordan, he was the storm cloud that rolled in and scared off the bullies without breaking a sweat. Their routine was sacred. Mornings at the corner bodega for black coffee and bagels slathered in cream cheese. Afternoons lost in the East Village's graffiti-splashed alleys, where Alex would sketch while Jordan ranted about systemic inequality. Evenings blurred into all-nighters at their cramped Bushwick apartment, a third-floor walk-up with peeling wallpaper and a fire escape that doubled as their smoking porch, though Alex had quit years ago, just to watch Jordan's proud grin. "See? You're tougher than you look," Jordan would tease, flicking ash into the void below. But lately, something had shifted, subtle as a crack in the sidewalk. It started with the mugging 3 weeks back, that knife fight in the alley that left Alex with a thin scar like a silver thread across his collarbone. Jordan had gone full Sentinel mode after that, showing up at Alex's freelance gigs, storyboarding indie films in lofts downtown, insisting on walking him home every time. "Humor me," he'd grunt, eyes scanning the crowds like he expected assassins around every corner. Alex chalked it up to guilt. Jordan had been late that night, tied up in a debate club mock trial. But the protectiveness lingered, a weight that pressed a little too close, especially when Jordan's hand would brush Alex's back, lingering just a beat too long. One chilly Thursday, as they hustled through Washington Square Park, leaves swirling like confetti in the wind, Alex decided to test the waters. A guy from his illustration class, Tyler, all tattoos and easy smiles, had asked him out for drinks. Nothing serious, just a chance to dip a toe back into dating after his last disaster. A 6-month fling with a pretentious photographer who'd ghosted him mid-argument about Caravaggio's lighting. "Hey, man," Alex ventured, dodging a jogger. "What if I told you I had a date this weekend?" Jordan's stride faltered, just for a split second, but Alex caught it. The way his jaw tightened, like he'd bitten into something sour. "A date," Jordan echoed, forcing a chuckle that didn't reach his eyes. "With who?" "One of those artsy types who quotes Kerouac but can't change a tire. Tyler from drawing seminar. Seems nice. Low-key." Alex shrugged, trying to play it cool, but his pulse quickened under Jordan's scrutiny. Jordan shoved his hands deeper into his jacket pockets, staring straight ahead at the arch looming like a stone sentinel. "Low-key, huh? Just be careful, all right? City's full of wolves." The word hung there, heavy, and Alex laughed it off. But inside, a flicker of something unnamed stirred. Wolves, like Jordan, with his broad shoulders and that predatory grace he moved with, always circling, always guarding. That night, as they sprawled on the sagging couch watching old episodes of The Wire, Jordan's pick, naturally, Alex couldn't shake it. Jordan's thigh pressed against his, warm through denim, and when he reached for the remote, his fingers grazed Alex's knee. Accidental? Alex's breath hitched, and he glanced over, catching Jordan's profile in the TV's blue glow. Strong nose, faint stubble shadowing his jaw, lips parted just enough to reveal the white scar on his lower lip from a bar fight back in Austin. God, he was beautiful, raw and unpolished, like the Texas plains Jordan waxed poetic about. "You ever think about it?" Alex blurted, the words tumbling out before he could reel them back. "Us, I mean, not as, brothers." The room went still, the TV's dialogue a distant hum. Jordan turned slowly, his blue eyes locking onto Alex's with an intensity that pinned him in place. For a heartbeat, Alex thought he saw it. A spark, a hunger, something electric and forbidden. Then Jordan blinked, and the mask slammed down. "What, like fucking around and ruining the best thing we've got?" "Nah, Harp, your family. That's worth more than some hookup that'll blow up in your face." He ruffled Alex's hair, rough and affectionate, and stood to grab beers from the fridge, the moment shattering like glass underfoot. Alex nodded, swallowing the lump in his throat, but as Jordan's back turned, those wide shoulders flexing under his faded band tee, he wondered if the protectiveness was a cage, not a shield. And if Jordan was the one holding the key, why did it feel like he was the one locked out? The weekend arrived with a bite in the air, frost etching patterns on the apartment windows like fragile lace. Tyler's text buzzed in at noon. "Meet at the Rusty Nail, 8? Can't wait." Alex stared at it, nerves twisting in his gut. It was just drinks, a chance to laugh and flirt without the weight of expectation. But as he buttoned his chambray shirt in front of the mirror, nervous fingers fumbling the cuffs, Jordan appeared in the doorway, arms crossed, filling the frame like a storm cloud. "You sure about this?" Jordan asked, voice casual but edged with gravel. Alex met his gaze in the reflection, forcing a smile. "Yeah. Why wouldn't I be?" Jordan shrugged, but his eyes, those damn eyes, betrayed him, dark and stormy. "Just text me when you get there, and if he turns out to be a dick, you call. I'll come get you." He stepped closer, adjusting Alex's collar with a touch that was too gentle, too lingering. Their eyes met, inches apart, and for a wild second, Alex swore Jordan leaned in, breath mingling, the air thick with unsaid things. Then the buzzer rang. Tyler, early and eager, and the spell broke. Jordan pulled back, clapping Alex on the shoulder with a grin that didn't fool anyone. "Go get Tiger. But remember, you're too good for assholes." The Rusty Nail was a dive bar straight out of a Scorsese flick, dim lights, scarred wooden tables, and a jukebox crooning Springsteen. Tyler was already there, nursing a whiskey sour, his ink-sleeved arms a stark contrast to the plaid shirt hugging his chest. He lit up when Alex approached, pulling him into a hug that smelled of patchouli and possibility. "You look great," Tyler said, eyes raking over him appreciatively. "First round's on me." They talked for hours, easy banter flowing like the cheap IPAs. Tyler's latest tattoo? A phoenix rising from subway grates. Alex's obsession with Alan Moore's twists. Laughter came quick, and when Tyler's knee brushed Alex's under the table, neither pulled away. Felt good light, unburdened. No shadows, no unspoken weights. By the second drink, Tyler's hand was on Alex's thigh, thumb tracing lazy circles, and Alex leaned in, tasting whiskey and warmth as their lips met in a kiss that promised more. But as they stumbled out into the night, Tyler's arms slung around his waist. Alex's phone buzzed. Home yet? Everything good? Jay, he fired off a quick all set, having fun. Talk soon. And pocketed it, ignoring the twinge in his chest. Jordan paced the apartment like a caged animal, the floorboards creaking under his boots. He tried to watch the game, some meaningless Knicks matchup, but the score blurred, his mind replaying that moment in the mirror, Alex's eyes wide and searching. The word had gutted him, a knife twist he hadn't seen coming. For years, for goddamn years of burying it deep, of being the rock, the shield, the straightest student in denial because admitting it meant risking everything. Alex was his anchor in this mad city, the one who saw through the bravado to the scared kid from a broken home. Dad long gone, mom scraping by on diner shifts. And now this Tyler prick, with his smarmy grin and wandering hands. Jordan slammed a fist into the fridge door, the magnets rattling like gunfire. He grabbed his keys, telling himself it was just a walk, just to clear his head. But his feet carried him to the subway, the F train rattling toward the Lower East Side, toward the Rusty Nail. Just check, he thought. Make sure he's safe. He spotted them from across the street, under a street lamp's hazy glow. Alex laughing, head thrown back, Tyler's mouth on his neck, hands possessive. Something primal snapped in Jordan's chest. A roar he swallowed down, fists clenching until his nails bit crescents into his palms. He turned away, the city swallowing him whole, but the image burned. Alex, his Alex, slipping through his fingers like rain. Back home, he waited. Midnight came and went, 1 a.m. too. The door finally clicked open at past. Alex slipping in with flushed cheeks and tousled hair, the scent of bar smoke and cologne clinging to him. Hey, he whispered, toeing off his shoes. You're up. Jordan unfolded from the armchair, where he'd been nursing a warm beer, shadows carving hollows under his eyes. Yeah. How was it? Alex hesitated, that post-date glow dimming under the scrutiny. Good. Really good. Tyler's. Intense, but in a fun way. Intense. Jordan's laugh was bitter, scraped raw. He make a move? Jordan. Did he? The question cracked like thunder. Alex's shoulders sagged. Yeah, we kissed. What's it to you? Jordan surged forward, stopping inches away, the air electric. Everything, because you're walking blind into shit that could break you, and I'm the idiot who's supposed to watch it happen. His voice broke, raw and ragged. I can't, Alex. I fucking can't. The confession hung there, a grenade with the pin pulled. Alex's breath caught, pieces slotting into place. The touches, the jealousy, the walls Jordan built higher than the Brooklyn Bridge. Wait, you? But Jordan was already retreating, grabbing his jacket from the hook. Forget it. Go chase your fairy tale. Just don't come crying when it turns to ash. The door slammed behind him, rattling the windows, leaving Alex in the silence, heart pounding with the truth he'd been too scared to see. The fallout hit like a nor'easter, winds howling through the cracks in their friendship. Alex woke the next morning to an empty apartment, Jordan's side of the couch bare, his running shoes gone from the mat. A note on the counter, scrawled in Jordan's blocky print. Crashed at Mike's. Need space. Don't worry. Mike was Jordan's debate club buddy, a lanky law nerd who owed him for one too many bar tabs. Alex stared at it, fingers tracing the ink, the words blurring as his chest tightened. Space. After 4 years of zero boundaries, of shared beds during thunderstorms and whispered secrets at dawn, space felt like exile. He texted Tyler anyway. Coffee today? Desperate for distraction, for proof that life didn't hinge on one 6'3" Texan. They met at a hole in the wall on St. Mark's, steam rising from mismatched mugs, Tyler's easy charm a bomb on the raw edges. "Last night was killer," Tyler said, lacing their fingers across the table, his thumb stroking Alex's knuckles. "We should do dinner. My place. I make a mean carbonara." Alex smiled, leaning into the touch, but his mind wandered to Jordan's note, to the way his voice had cracked like fault lines. "I can't." What couldn't he do? Protect Alex from a world that already felt too sharp? Or something deeper? Something that explained the heat in Jordan's gaze, the way his hugs lingered like promises? That afternoon, Alex threw himself into work, sketching panels for a graphic novel pitch. A lone wolf in a neon-lit metropolis, shadows nipping at his heels. The lines came fierce, inked with frustration, the wolf's eyes mirroring his own, wary, yearning. By dusk, his phone buzzed. "Jordan. Debate thing ran late. You good?" No mention of the blowout, like it was a dream they'd both wake from. "Yeah." "You?" Alex typed back, thumbs hovering before adding, "We should talk." The reply took minutes. "Tomorrow. Promise." True to his word, Jordan showed up at noon the next day, bearing peace offerings. 2 hot dogs from Gray's Papaya, extra mustard, just how Alex liked. He looked wrecked, stubble shadowing his jaw, eyes bloodshot, but his grin was pure Cain, disarming as ever. "Truce," he said, holding out the foil-wrapped tube. They ate on the fire escape, legs dangling over the alley, the city hum a distant roar. Small talk first, classes, the Knicks' latest choke, until Alex couldn't hold it. "Last night, you meant it, didn't you? About not being able to watch." Jordan's hot dog paused mid-bite, mustard dripping onto his knee. He wiped it absently, staring at the bricks across the way. "Yeah, meant every word." A beat, then softer. "I've been an idiot, Harp, keeping you close but pushing you away. It's not fair." "Why?" Alex's voice was barely above the traffic below. "Why push?" Jordan set the food aside, turning to face him, knees bumping. Up close, the scars were visible. The faint one on his lip, a jagged line on his knuckles from punching a wall after his dad bailed for good. "Because you're the best thing in my life. And if I let myself feel what I feel, I'd ruin it. I'm not built for this city fairy tale. I'm the guy who fixes shit, not the one who gets the prince." Alex's heart stuttered. "Who says it's a fairy tale?" "Jordan, I felt it too. The way you look at me, like I'm the only one in the room. I thought it was just protection, brotherhood." Jordan's laugh was hollow, echoing off the metal. "Protection? That's the lie I told myself. Truth is, I've been in love with you since that first ramen night, when you sketched that dumb superhero on a napkin and made me believe I could change the world." He reached out, hand cupping Alex's cheek, thumb brushing his scar. "But you deserve better than a hothead with baggage. Tyler, he's got that artist vibe, no walls." The name landed like a slap. Alex pulled back, heat rising. "Is that what this is? You playing martyr so I can run off with Mr. Perfect?" "No," Jordan started, but Alex was on his feet, the fire escape rattling. "Bullshit. You dropped that bomb and then shoved me toward someone else? What the hell, Jordan?" He stormed inside, slamming the window, leaving Jordan stranded in the cold. The week that followed was a masterclass in avoidance. Jordan buried in library stacks, Alex dodging the apartment like it was plague-ridden. Tyler filled the void, their dinner date stretching into a weekend of lazy mornings and whispered plans. Tyler's loft in Soho was a dream. Exposed brick, canvases stacked like kindling, a bed that overlooked the skyline. They cooked, they kissed, they talked about futures. Tyler's gallery show, Alex's novel. It was easy, intoxicating, a bubble Jordan's chaos couldn't touch. But cracks formed. Tyler's intensity veered possessive, checking Alex's phone during meals, side-eyeing mentions of old friends. "You talk about this Jordan guy a lot," he'd say, casual but pointed. "Like he's the sun you orbit." Alex would laugh it off, but the words stuck, burrowing like splinters. Meanwhile, Jordan unraveled in silence. He crashed on Mike's couch, nights blurring into shots at dive bars, the burn of bourbon dulling the ache. Mike cornered him one morning over burnt toast. Dude, you're a mess. Just tell him. What's the worst that happens? Everything falls apart, Jordan muttered, staring at his bruised knuckles. But Mike's words echoed, and by Friday he was at Alex's door, rain-soaked and desperate. No answer. He tried Tyler's loft next, tracked from a careless Instagram story, pounding until the door cracked open. Tyler stood there, shirtless, hair mussed. Kane? What the? Where's Alex? Jordan's voice was steel. Busy. Tyler smirked, blocking the way. We're in the middle of something. Jordan's blood boiled, visions of that street lamp kiss flashing red. He shoved past, the door banging wide. And there was Alex, tangled in sheets, eyes wide with shock. Jordan? What are you? The room spun. Betrayal, hot and vicious, clawed up Jordan's throat. Not at Alex, no, never, but at the universe for dangling this only to yank it away. Fuck this, he growled, turning on his heel. Enjoy your prince, Harp. Wait. Alex scrambled up, grabbing a robe, chasing him into the hall. Jordan, stop. It's not what you think. But Jordan was gone, elevator dinging shut, leaving Alex gasping in the fluorescent glare. He sank to the floor, the weight of it crushing. 2 men, 2 worlds, and him caught in the crossfire. The betrayal festered like an open wound, septic and unrelenting. Alex spent the next day ghosting Tyler's texts. Missed you last night. Come back? And wandering the village alone, sketchbook forgotten in his bag. The streets, once a canvas of inspiration, now mocked him. Couples hand in hand under umbrellas, murals of lovers locked in eternal embrace. How had it come to this? Jordan's confession, raw and real, had cracked him open, only for pride and fear to weld the pieces back wrong. By evening, resolve hardened. He showed up at Mike's brownstone in Park Slope, the stoop lined with potted herbs that screamed domestic bliss. Mike answered, eyebrow arched. Harper. Bold move. Jordan here. Alex's voice cracked, but he held the gaze. Mike sighed, stepping aside. Kitchen. But fair warning, he's a bear with a hangover. Jordan was at the sink, scrubbing dishes with more force than necessary. Sleeves rolled to his elbows, tattoos. A coiled rattlesnake from his wilder days, rippling with each motion. He froze at Alex's approach, water dripping from his hands. What do you want? To talk. Like adults. Not door-slamming drama queens. Alex crossed his arms, mirroring Jordan's stance. Jordan snorted, drying his hands on a towel. Says the guy shacked up with Tattoo Boy while I'm spilling my guts. That wasn't... Alex pinched the bridge of his nose. It was a rebound, okay? After you dropped, in love like a grenade and ran. What was I supposed to do? Chase you down the block in my underwear? Jordan's laugh was mirthless, but his eyes softened, just a fraction. Wouldn't have said no. The air thickened, charged. Alex stepped closer, the linoleum squeaking. Then why run? You say you love me, but every time it gets real, you bolt. Like I'm some kid you need to babysit, not equal. Jordan's shoulders slumped, the fight draining out. He leaned against the counter, head bowed. Because equals don't get hurt. And I hurt people, Alex. Dad walked out when I was 10. Left mom with debts and me thinking it was my fault for not being man enough to stop him. Then college, this girl I dated. She said I was too intense. Smothered her. So yeah, I protect. It's all I know. Better to keep you safe than watch you shatter because of me. The vulnerability hit Alex like a wave, stripping away the anger. He closed the gap, hand on Jordan's arm, feeling the tremor beneath. I'm not her, or your dad. I'm the guy who stayed, through your rants and your walls. And yeah, it scares me too, this city, the what-ifs. But shutting me out? That's the real shatter. Jordan looked up, blue eyes stormy with unshed tears. What if we try and I fuck it up? Lose you for good? Then we fight for it. Alex's voice was steady, a vow. Like we always have. The kiss started tentative, Jordan's lips brushing Alex's forehead. Then cheek. A question. Alex answered by tilting up, mouths meeting soft and searching, tasting salt and home. It deepened, hands fisting shirts, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long misplaced. When they broke, gasping, Jordan rested his forehead against Alex's. Okay, we try. The next weeks were a revelation, tentative steps into uncharted territory. Mornings blurred into shared showers, laughter echoing off tiles as Jordan soaped Alex's back, fingers tracing scars both new and old. Evenings on the fire escape, now with tentative hand-holding, Jordan's thumb circling Alex's wrist like a heartbeat. They navigated the city as a unit. Gallery openings where Jordan stood sentinel by abstract nudes, whispering filthy. Not dirty, just filthy honest. Jokes to make Alex snort wine. Quiet nights at Coney Island, boardwalk lights painting their faces gold. Jordan winning Alex a lopsided stuffed wolf at the ring toss. Tyler faded gracefully. A text apology Alex sent over coffee. You're great, but my heart's elsewhere. No drama, just closure. A clean break in a city full of jagged ones. But shadows lingered. Jordan's protectiveness morphed, sometimes into overreach. Vetoing a late-night storyboard session because neighborhood sketchy, or grilling Alex's new editor like a suspect. Ease up, Alex would tease, but the undercurrent chafed, a reminder of old cages. The real storm brewed at Jordan's family Thanksgiving. A cane tradition he'd dodged for years. But this time, with Alex by his side, he insisted. Time to face the ghosts, he said, packing the rental car with Tupperware of Alex's apple pie. The drive to Austin was 8 hours of podcasts and pit stops. Jordan's hand on Alex's thigh the whole way, an anchor against the nerves. Texas unfolded in golden plains and sprawling ranches, the air thick with mesquite and memory. Jordan's mom, Carla, enveloped them at the door. Hugs fierce, eyes sharp. So you're the one who's got my boy smilin' again, she said, winking at Alex over pecan pie. His stepdad, a quiet rancher named Ray, clapped Jordan on the back, gruff approval in his nod. Dinners stretched long, stories flowing. Jordan's high school brawls, the time he fixed the barn roof in a thunderstorm. Alex soaked it in, sketching covertly under the table, capturing Jordan's laugh lines, the way his eyes crinkled like denim. But the idol cracked on the last night. Ray pulled Jordan aside on the porch, beers in hand, voices low. Alex lingered in the kitchen, eavesdropping despite himself. Proud of you, son. Law school's waitin', big things. But this, boy. Ray's tone dipped, uneasy. Folks talk. Church group, even. Ain't sayin' it's right, but you sure this is the path? Silence, then Jordan's voice, steel-edged. It's my path, Ray. Alex is my future. If that's a problem. No problem, Ray cut in quick. Just protectin' you. World's hard enough without extra fight. Alex slipped away before Jordan emerged, but the words burrowed deep. Protection. Again. That night, in the guest room's creaky bed, Jordan held him close, whispering apologies for the lumpy mattress, oblivious to the fracture. Back in Brooklyn, the tension simmered. Jordan threw himself into finals, mock trials running late, while Alex's graphic novel pitch landed a meeting with a Manhattan publisher. Excitement bubbled, visions of book tours, signings, but Jordan's reactions soured it. Sounds great, he'd say, distracted, then launch into warnings. Just watch the contract fine print. These suits'll bleed you dry. Alex nodded, but resentment brewed. A slow poison. The climax erupted mid-December. Snow dusting the streets like powdered sugar. Fairy lights twinkling in shop windows. Alex's editor called green light with revisions. He burst into the apartment waving the email printout. We did it. Dinner out. Your pick. Jordan hunched over case files at the table, looked up slow. Congrats, man. Really. But his smile was forced, eyes distant. What's wrong? Alex pressed, deflating. Jordan rubbed his neck, the telltale sign. Nothing. Just this meeting. They're flying me to D.C. for an internship interview. 2 weeks right after New Year's. Alex blinked. DC? As in, away from here? From us? It's a chance, Harp. ACLU thing, civil rights cases, the real deal. Jordan stood, pacing. I turn it down, what? Waste it. 'Cause we're just figuring shit out. The word stung, just figuring shit out. Like their love was a phase. So what? I celebrate alone while you chase glory? After Austin, after everything. Jordan whirled. This ain't about that. It's about building something for us. You with your book, me fighting the good fight. Protection. Remember? There it is. Alex's voice rose, echoing off walls. Always protecting. From Ray's whispers, from the world, from me being enough. You think I'm too fragile for your big life? Jordan's face crumpled. Fury and fear warring. I think you're everything, and I'm terrified I'll drag you down. Like Dad did Mom. Like I almost did you, that night in the alley. Then stop dragging. Stop deciding for me. Alex grabbed his coat, storming out into the flurry. The doors slam a gunshot in the night. He wandered for hours, snow soaking his boots, ending up at the Brooklyn Bridge, winds whipping off the East River. The city sprawled below, a glittering beast indifferent to broken hearts. His phone buzzed. Jordan. Where are you? Please. Ignored. Another. I love you. Don't do this. Tears froze on his lashes. Love. But whose version? Dawn crept in, gray and unforgiving. Alex trudged home, key turning like a confession. Jordan was there, curled on the couch, asleep with his jacket on, phone clutched like a lifeline. Alex paused, heart aching at the vulnerability. The alpha felled. He sank beside him, hand in Jordan's hair, whispering, "We can't keep breaking." Jordan stirred, eyes fluttering open, red-rimmed. "Alex, I called everyone. Thought I'd lost you. You almost did." Alex's voice trembled. "We need help. Therapy, maybe, or just time. But no more walls." Jordan nodded, pulling him close, sobs muffled in Alex's neck. "No more. I swear." Spring thawed Brooklyn slowly, tentative greens pushing through concrete cracks, mirroring the fragile bloom in their lives. Jordan deferred the DC internship, 1 year to build roots, and they dove into counseling, a queer-affirming therapist in Chelsea who unpacked Jordan's armor piece by piece. Sessions were raw, Jordan admitting the alley mugging wasn't random but a trigger from a college assault he'd buried, Alex confessing his fear of being the sidekick in Jordan's epic. Words became bridges, not barriers, and slowly trust rebuilt, stronger for the scars. Alex's graphic novel launched in June, Shadowpack hitting shelves with a whimper. Indie buzz, modest sales, but Jordan threw a rooftop party anyway. String lights and craft beers under a star-flecked sky. Friends milled. Mike toasting with legalese puns. Tyler stopping by with a sign sketch. No hard feelings, man. Carla flying in for the weekend. Her arm linked through Alex's like he'd always been family. Jordan watched from the edge, beer in hand, pride swelling his chest till it hurt. This them was the win he'd chased all along. But life, that great leveler, had one last twist. Late July, a call from Austin. Ray, sidelined by a heart scare, ranch falling to seed. Jordan drove down alone first, Alex following a week later with revisions in tow. The plains stretched endless, a canvas of ochre and blue, and in Ray's kitchen, smelling of strong coffee and liniment, confrontations unfolded. Ray, frail in his recliner, met Jordan's gaze steady. "I was wrong, son. About a lot. Seeing you too. It's real. Stronger than I knew." Jordan's throat bobbed. "Hurts, though. Thinkin' you saw me less for it." Ray reached out, hand gnarled but sure. "Fear, boy. Old man's curse. But you're breaking it." Alex arrived to sunsets painting the horizon fire. Nights in the guest room with Jordan's whispers chasing away ghosts. They fixed fences, literal and not, Jordan teaching Alex to mend barbed wire, Alex sketching Ray's weathered face for the sequel. Carla hosted barbecues, her laughter a melody over sizzling ribs, and in quiet moments, she'd pull Alex aside. "He lights up around you, like he did before the hurt set in." The betrayal's echo faded there, in the wide open spaces where secrets had no place to hide. Back in New York, they adopted a rescue mutt, a scruffy terrier mixed Jordan named Scout, its wagging tail a daily reminder of second chances. Alex's book climbed charts on word of mouth, panels at cons where fans asked about the alpha wolf muse. Jordan grinned, arm around him. That's me, guardian of the realm. Yet the humanism of it all settled deeper, beyond romance's glow. Jordan volunteered at a youth center, mentoring queer kids with stories of alleys and triumphs, his protectiveness channeled into empowerment. Alex wove their truths into art, not as tragedy but testament. Love as verb, fierce and flawed. Conflicts arose, arguments over takeout, Jordan's habit of leaving socks on the bathroom floor. But they talked them out, no running. One crisp October eve, 4 years to the day they met, Jordan led Alex blindfolded to Washington Square, autumn leaves crunching like applause. He unveiled a plaque on their old bench, engraved, "To the dreamers who found home in each other." J and A. Alex traced the letters, tears pricking. "You sap." Jordan knelt, not in proposal but promise, pulling a key from his pocket, to a bigger apartment in Williamsburg, with a studio for Alex and a balcony for their stars. No more fire escapes, just us, building. Alex hauled him up, kissing him fierce under the arch's shadow. Yes, to all of it. Years later, at a gallery opening for Alex's third book, A Tale of Wolves and Redemption, Jordan stood beside him, suit sharp, hand warm at his back. The crowd swirled, but their eyes met, a silent vow amid the chaos. Protection had evolved. Not a shield, but a hand extended, equal in stride. In the end, it wasn't fairy tale perfection. No grand weddings or erasure of pain, but a quiet victory, humanistic and hard one. Two men, scarred by betrayal and bound by choice, carving space in a world that tried to crowd them out. And in that space, love grew, wild and enduring as the city they called home.